All right, we're now live. Technology. We're trying a new program. This is StreamYard, so this is one of the ones. It's my wife. She's so. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. Hi, my name's Bruce Clark. We make videos that are all things Southern California. What it's like to live here, work here, own a home here, play here, all kinds of fun things. I'm a licensed real estate professional, and we help people buy, sell, invest in Southern California. So do us a favor. In fact, we're going to talk about a lot of like 5 counties, but just a favor. If you like our videos, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you can be notified the next time we get ready to upload a video or we schedule a live call. And like our videos, it helps the algorithm. So, but today I wanted to talk about communities, and I'm going to include more than just Orange County because we've been in San Diego County and Riverside County, San Bernardino County. I've sold in Los Angeles County, and so we help people in all kinds of different places. And I think that for some, certainly with prices and with interest rates, it's going to change where they live. For example, it used to be that if you didn't want to own a home in Irvine or couldn't afford, you could buy a home in Corona, or you could buy a home in Norco, or you could buy a home in Chino Hills. And we talked about chasing the cows out as you go farther out. And now what we're seeing is people are buying in Victorville, they're buying in Hemet. Temecula has certainly moved up. People are buying in Paris, the Apple Valley, places like that. Heck, maybe even Barstow. But there's all kinds of things that determine where you're going to own. Today, we're going to concentrate on mainly Orange County communities, but I'm going to talk about some other communities. I think it's important. So let's talk about Crystal Cove, because I think it's a perfect example of what people want to do and what they can't do. And what I mean by that, and let's say that you can afford Crystal Cove, and it's about a $5 million entry fee. Custom homes, probably in the $15 million. Let's say that's where you want to live. However, if you're a physician, if you're an ER doctor, that probably is not a place that you can live. It's not that you might not be able to afford it, but most likely you're not going to buy there because you need the ability to exit quickly out of the community and then hit a freeway and go to a hospital or hospitals. So for some, though they'd love to buy a custom home with a phenomenal ocean view in Crystal Cove, there's a lot of newer homes. They're still building custom homes there. In all likelihood, that's just not going to be something they can do. For some, that is a disqualifier, and that's something. One of the things that we do. Let me back up for a second. One of the things when we start working with people, we talk about it being a process of elimination, and that is, you want to first decide what city or cities. So start narrowing down. You have gone to Laguna Beach. You like Laguna Beach. It's a cool place, but you needed something that had easier access to the freeways. So most likely you'd eliminate Laguna Beach. You liked Huntington Beach, so again, you eliminate Huntington Beach. You like Newport Beach. You liked Newport Beach, but you didn't like Balboa Island, but you like Balboa Peninsula. However, you were there during the summer, and that's eliminated. So it's a process of elimination. And then what happens is once we get down city, then we start going to communities, areas, and then communities. And so again, sometimes it's that you might like Orchard Hills in Irvine, and you might like Altair or Alta Vista. Sorry, Altair is over in Great Park. You might like Alta Vista, Bella Vista, but you wanted a few more amenities. So you're thinking, well, let's take a look at Great Park. So there's all kinds of things that come into play. So we tell people, let's first figure out your needs and your wants. And your needs are those critical items. And then, of course, we have wants. What we also do then is we start narrowing down specific communities, houses. What house style do you like? Things like that. We always recommend that people visit the community that they're most interested in, or communities. Say visit them in the evening, because the evening's going to tell you really the flavor of the community. It's fine during the day, but you don't see the kids. Typically, they're at school. There's not as many people out, perhaps, certainly, unless it's a Saturday or Sunday. They're not out enjoying all the amenities, or they might not be at the parks. They might not be skateboarding or riding their bikes or those things. But if you come in the evening or on Saturday and Sunday, now you get the real flavor of the community. Now you can see what type of community do we have? Do we have a community that's active? Am I going to get to know my neighbors, or is it one where they drive through that big mouth, so to speak, which is the garage, and do they stay in their home? And for some, that's what they want. Others want to be part of a community. So we tell people it's very important that you spend some time in that community before pulling the trigger. I know that's, sometimes, think that real estate agents, we want to push, let's make an offer, let's just get you in something. With us, that's, nothing could be further from the case. We want you to love where you live. So that's one of the things we talk about. So we've talked about Crystal Cove, Balboa Peninsula. I love Balboa Peninsula. Got some great beaches, but during the summer, it's going to take you an hour or two, maybe even 3 hours to get off the peninsula. It can be tough. Now you can take the ferry across, go to the island, but you have lines, so that's a place. We do have golf course communities. Certainly, you have Shady Canyon. You have Big Canyon. So you have Big Canyon, Newport Beach. You have Shady Canyon. You've got multiple golf courses, so that's something else that we would certainly have a discussion with you about. Is that important? Do you want to belong to the golf club? Now, just because you buy a home in that community does not mean that you're going to be able to be allowed to join the club. And I say allowed because there's a process, and a lot of times it's referral basis. Do you know someone there? If you belong to other courses, I mean, at the higher end clubs, there's a lot that goes into it, and some politics. But it seems like everything's politics these days. But there's some great courses out here. There's some great public courses. So again, you might want to live on the golf course, but you don't want to join that specific course. So, you can go over to the Pelican Hill Golf Club. You can go to you've got another one here in Irvine, of course, Strawberry Farms. I mean, you've got some great golf courses. You can even drive down to San Diego, and you've got Torrey Pines. I mean, you have some phenomenal golf courses that are public. So I think that, and I hope I'm not confusing you, but that kind of gives you an overarching kind of view when we talk to people about kind of where they want to live. If you're moving from Augusta, Georgia, you're near the Masters, you probably love golf, and because of the course. So, but also it's going to be lot size. We have some people that don't mind having a smallish lot and a big home, and so it would be something that if you're looking to, let's say, build a tennis court, basketball court, or certainly install a good sized pool, then there are some communities that you simply you just don't have that capability, or in that specific home, or that specific community. So some of the higher end developments, the Alta Vista, Bella Vista, and Orchard Hills have some larger lots than certainly you're going to find in even the Trevi's and Amelia's. But again, even then, most likely you're not going to be able to have a tennis court. You might be able to certainly get a pool. Couple in Hidden Canyon, you can do that. Shady Canyon, however, if you've got 10 million plus, now you can get a custom home. 15 million you get bigger lots, start getting better views. And so you can typically in a lot of 25 to 35,000 square feet, you can have a pool, half court basketball, probably pickleball, not tennis. But again, that's going to come down to HOA, and you're going to have to certainly get all that approved by them. You certainly want to get things permitted. Keep in mind, if it's not permitted, certainly if you're adding space, and we'll come back to that in a second, then it doesn't really count if you didn't submit everything. It wasn't approved by the assessor, and it wasn't added. So What we're seeing is accessory dwelling units added to some properties. We're going to see it in Shady Canyon. We're going to see it in Newport Coast. So again, can you build an accessory dwelling unit in Orchard Hills? On some of them, yes. Accessory dwelling unit is a granny flat, or it's a separate structure. You could build a junior ADU or junior accessory dwelling unit. So that's something else. Do I have the lot size if I wanted to bring my in-laws over or move them in from somewhere else? Or do I want them to have their own living quarters in a larger lot? Something that you might not find in Orchard Hills in most of the homes. Something you're going to find. You've got certainly, the Marbellas at Orchard Hills, a lot of, some of them have some larger lots, 10, 12,000 square feet. But there's, you're getting 25,000 square feet. Now you're in Shady Canyon. Now you're Customs. Now you're looking, Crystal Cove, places like that. Or what you can do is you can look at places in Laguna Niguel like Bear Brand Ranch. You can look at Costa de Casa. You could look at Nelly Gel, Laguna Niguel. You could look at North Tustin. And North Tustin has some huge, we've seen some 15, 20 acre lots back there. We've even seen some with their own little lake. So little pond. It's pretty sizable. It's pretty cool. We've seen helicopter pads. A lot of people don't know what's back there. But that's the neat thing about drones, and of course Google Maps. So there's all kinds of things. Again, we've had people say, "Hey, I want a large lot, I want a view, and this is my price range. Here's where you're going to be. You can't be in Shady Canyon or Crystal Cove for $5 million. You could be North Tustin and some other places. We've seen some great homes in Dana Point where you get some really nice views. But again, if you're in Dana Point and you work in Los Angeles, is it possible for you to get on the freeway and go to LA quickly? Maybe not quickly enough, to make it a daily commute. So all of these things factor in when we talk to you about your wants and needs. We've been to so many communities, and that's one of the neat things about making these videos. We get to go back to all the communities and certainly check out our videos. We have videos on Shady Canyon and Newport Coast, Crystal Cove. We have Newport Beach, Corona del Mar. Love Corona del Mar. Coming back to that, tight, smallish lots, some good views. That's a community that some just can't live in, and others love it, and so they'll retire there. But we have all kinds of information about these communities, so reach out to us. Let me tell you what happened last week. We were in San Diego County, and we're looking at some lots for a client. Client owns a home here in Orange County. It's a substantial home, but they want some place to get away. So we're walking lots with them, and we did the initial research. We wanted to find something that was entitled, which means that certainly they've had plans pulled for utilities. They've had approval for that. And we even wanted to go so far as to find a lot that had been graded so that they could come in and speak with an architect, talk to the geological and the civil engineer, perhaps make some plans for subterranean, and look at building an even bigger home, something with a view, something on a lot more land. Because if you're talking about 5-10 acres here in Orange County, it can be incredibly expensive. So that's something that we've done. So for this client, what Orange County had to offer it just didn't meet all his needs. So we travel and we've looked at properties in Riverside County and San Bernardino County. Not that long ago, we've sold in LA County. So if you're looking at anything there, and at some point we'll come back and we'll talk about LA County. I used to live there, owned a stock brokerage firm in LA, and I've lived in Ventura County, so I have a lot of experience with Southern California. But let me come back for a second to this land. So what we did was we found the lot. It's an off-market opportunity. We have great rapport with agents all over the country, and then so what that allowed us to do is then reach out to our architects, architect contacts, and we also have surveyors and some other people we're working with. So, and we have
gated communities in Orange County from Fay Lake.
I'm sorry?
Are there gated communities in Orange County, she's asking? Hey.
Yes. So one of the questions is, are there gated communities in Orange County? Yes, there are. And we have some in Irvine, we have some in Laguna Niguel, we have some, we have some in Dana Point, we have some in Laguna Niguel, we have some in Tustin, we have Tustin Ranch, we have some in Tustin Estates. We have there are none in Corona del Mar, except there's a little community that has about 5 homes, but most of the homes in CDM or Corona del Mar aren't. So let us know what you're looking for. Let us know what cities, if you have a city preference. We have great lists of communities that have gates. Some are guard gated, some are simply gated. For example, North Park in Irvine is guard gated. Northwood Point is guard gated. Gated would be some of the other communities in Northwood. So, there's a difference. Let us know if you're looking for gated or guard gated. And of course, what type of home you're looking for. Is it a view home? Is it a pool home? Is it a home that, those types of things. So certainly let us know. So, and I think one of the videos we're going to do one day perhaps will be kind of a litany of homes that have gates and those have guard gates. You can do us a favor. Our phone, certainly our phone number, 949-285-1207. Text us, call us. We're info@livinginirvinecalifornia.com. So don't hesitate to shoot us an email, and then we have the ability to also have a Zoom call. Yes.
Jay says, hello, I love the channel and Newport Coast. I always wondered, what on earth do people do for a living to afford a home beyond the Crystal Cove gates, even the second gate up there?
The second gate. Ooh, I love that second gate. There are even some third gates. So what we find, we've worked with clients up there. What we find is we find that they're physicians, doctors, a lot of entrepreneurs, authors. We have some people, baseball players. We've had Josh Hamilton, for example, when he was with the Angels, owned a home there. So a lot of entrepreneurs. We have some people started some big companies, and so we find traditionally entrepreneurs. That's what we're finding. Some attorneys, doctors, but a lot of entrepreneurs, and so that's what we find the homeowners up there. In Crystal Cove, yes. So, in Shady Canyon recently, we had Dean Koontz, the author. He bought, I think he owns 3 homes over there now. So, we have a full range of people that own homes there. But they're, in fact, we have a video on Crystal Cove, and we're going to be doing another video up there, because there's a home up there. It's about 55,000 square feet, and it's going to be probably the first 100 million plus, could be the first $150 million plus property out here for residential. So thank you for the question. We appreciate that. And again, coming back to the question, are there gated communities? Yes, let us know where you're looking. Again, we have at livinginirvinecalifornia.com. You can set up a Zoom call with us. We'd love to speak with you even further about that, and let us know what you're looking for. And then Jay, I appreciate the question about the Newport Coast. I'll tell you some fabulous homes. And what we found in working up there is that what we found in working up there is that people they have pride of ownership, and we really well received when we've been up there recording. And so that's what we're saying. We want to get back up. So let us know if there's a specific street Del Mar, you have Midsummer. I mean, you've got some front row. Let us know. We'd love to record something up there. And oh, nice. Yes, you're aware of a home. A friend's dad company actually commissioned that home and built it. So would that be on Midsummer or Del Mar? Because there's Del Mar's considered front row. By front row, I mean really no one in front of you. And so some people look for a front row, and it could be a sit down front row view, or they built fantastic. They built the house for the current owner. Very nice. But they're gorgeous homes, and we have some exotic materials. One of the homes we went into had one of the largest, what was it called? It's almost like a rotunda. It's one of the largest in the United States. So again, these are spectacular homes, and we hope that you've enjoyed the videos as we've gone up to the area and as we've shown you on the multiple listing service. And as we get the opportunity, we'll certainly be giving a lot more interior views of the homes, because they are special. I think a lot of times we go in so many homes, and we sometimes forget how special these homes are. Again, this takes years and years to build, and of course the planning. So again, let us, and I appreciate the comments. Thank you. So let me kind of piggyback on what Jay and Faye talked about, and that is needs and wants. So if you want a big home and you want to be guard gated, or if that's a need, then that takes you into different areas and different communities. So what we find is that, for example, Orchard Hills has no custom homes. I love Orchard Hills. They have Alta Vista, Bella Vista, you have the Trevi, the Melia, you have all kinds of great, but there's no custom. So we're working with someone right now who's looking to make a move to Orange County, and so they're he's thinking, well, I want some land. I kind of want what I want. I'm not seeing it in Orchard Hills. So now we expanded. Now we're looking at some places in Orange, perhaps, certainly North Tustin. We looked at some lots in some other areas. So we're not just looking at things in multiple listing service. I mean, I almost hate saying, we want to think outside the box, because a lot of people have very specific needs. So also what's going to come into play, if you have kids, you're going to be in, depending on where you live, if you like the high-rise living here in Irvine, that's called the airport area, then it would be, I'll get that in a second. Then it would take you, the airport area in Irvine, the schools are Santa Ana. So if you have kids and you don't want them to go to a Santa Ana school, then you would be a private school. So again, for some, they're looking at $1,000 HOA, looking at spending $1.5 million on a home. They don't want to send their kids to the public school, so they send them to a private school. So that's additional cost. So those are things that we help people anticipate as they consider communities. And yes, very familiar with the Portobello or the Portobello estate located in Cameo Shores. You know what? And Jay, that's a great question about Cameo Shores. And I kind of wondered that too. We were out in that area in San Diego, and there are 47 homeowners, and it's not gated. And I'm going to use this because I'm going to talk about Cameo Shores and Cameo Highlands in that area. And there is no gate. So all the owners would have to get together and approve the gate, and then they'd have to pay for it. So then you'd have to maintain it. And that's something that a lot of people don't want to do. So let's say that it's, and it's not that much money over 47 people in the scheme of things, if you're in a substantial price area. But now you've got the maintenance. Who's going to maintain it? What about if it breaks? What if it hurts somebody? I mean, there's so many things that come into play. And I think that's the thing at Cameo Shores. I'm surprised that Cameo Shores isn't guard gated, or certainly gated. And then same thing with Cameo Highlands. So The Portobello estate, very unique. It was really cool because it had that indoor kind of a ruby style, and it had a faux jewelry store that you could actually store your jewelry, and it had a really cool home theater. So, Jay, that is one of the most unique homes. That was not the best investment for that individual. So I'm wondering if we're going to see people try that again. I think right now it's not the time for some people to take that speculation. We had the big home up in Crystal Cove that the family bought 3 lots, and they're building again about a 55 to 57,000 square foot home up there. Though I've not been inside, I know people that are working on the home, and it's going to be a spectacular home. So I'm interested to see what that looks like, and I think that's going to be our first potentially even $150 million home. But Jay, that is a spectacular home. But we've always wondered why also. Why more communities in CDM or Corona Del Mar aren't guard gated. You have Billionaires Row, which is Brighton. People aren't aware that people like Nichols, who started Broadcom, they live there. It was funny because I was showing a home over in that area on Brighton, and we'd looked at like 5 homes that day, and I was tired, and these were big homes. I admit, I got out of the car, and I went and knocked on the door of this person, and they wondered, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" And so I just asked if the homes were for sale, and no. And so I looked up the address, and I was 2 doors away. But it was funny because it was a person who, certainly if you Google Forbes, you'd recognize him. So it was really funny. But I don't know if they appreciate it that much, but I thought it was funny, and so just stop for that extra cup of coffee. But it's going to be interesting as we move forward. If we've seen an increase in crime in some cities, we've seen that. Are we going to see that here? Is that going to drive more communities to be more isolated? There's a really cool book, Jay. I don't know if you've read the book Richistan, and it talked about how some people have developed their own countries in a sense, and that is you go from a guard-gated community to a guard-gated country club to a private jet, and everything's, and you work in a building which is guarded. And so some of these people, it is a unique lifestyle. Again, private jets, private boats, everything's private. And and I'm wondering if that stops some of the sales over in Cameo Shores and Cameo Highlands, so and some other areas. But we love CDM, and to get down to Corona Del Mar during the summer, it's an adventure. But goodness gracious, great beaches. We just love the atmosphere, and I appreciate the comments. And I'm wondering, did you get a chance to did you get a chance to walk through that home that was built for by your friend's dad's company? I'm wondering, did you get a chance to walk through it, and what are your thoughts on that? How'd it turn out? So I know we've been kind of all over the map tonight, and I really appreciate you joining us. What we want to do is bring value, and again, some of the things that we in the profession think about. We work with builders, developers, we work with investors, work with first-time homeowners. Tomorrow, don't forget, there's the Dream for All program being announced by CalHAFA, which is if you're a first-time buyer, you can get up to 20% of your purchase price as a loan from CalHAFA. There's only $400 million available, so it's not a lot of money. So my wife's saying $300 million. So it's just $300 million available. But they'll loan you 20% of the purchase price of the home. It's an equity share. It's a silent program. You don't make any payments. There's no interest. So that's neat. But they're going to take 20% of the. Thanks, Jay. They're going to take 20% of your equity when you go to sell. I think they allow one refi, but for some, it's not worth it. Others are going to jump aboard, but you do have to qualify. My understanding is you have to qualify for the full price of the home. So if it's $1 million, that's what it's going to. you're gonna have to qualify for the full million, not 800 or 900,000, and then they're going to loan you the 20%. So it's really interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. We're aware of a grant program. We're aware of again, down payment assistance programs, VA. We even hear that FHA is coming out for 40-year loans. So it's going to be interesting. Reach out to us, whether you're a first-time buyer, whether you're an investor, whether you're looking to move to the area, even if you're looking to sell your home, we work with sellers. And but certainly let us know. And Jay, I saw is the air different up there? Sometimes I think it is. No, it's but what was cool, and I have a ton of photos. There's a tot lot up there, and one of the reasons we go up there is there's bathrooms up there. I'll be honest, and so we'll go over and we'll walk around this area, and you have a phenomenal ocean view. You've got an ocean view. You're looking over the villas. You got the timeshares. You've got all that stuff, and it's an amazing view. And it's not inexpensive, but goodness, it's a great place. And I know that prices. I know some people talk about California, and people are moving away, but we're getting calls from people moving back, or people moving from other states. So some have never lived here, some are moving back. And for all those of you who've reached out to us, I appreciate that. Thank you. We really do, and we enjoy speaking with you and working with you. But Jay, do me a favor. If you ever want to get in Crystal Cove, give me a call. Next time we're up showing homes, I'll get you in. We'll make that work. So, but it's a really cool place, and let's charge you a Starbucks. No, I'm kidding. So, but again, I hope that you found this informative, educational. I know we're kind of all over the map on some of these, and we're kind of being driven by what we received during the week, and then questions from people in the chat as questions come up. We want to get to everything. We don't want to go too long, but at the same time, we will make certain that we bring everything that we can to bear. Whether you're looking to make a move in the next 5 days, 50 days, or further out, whether you're looking in Orange County, San Diego County, San Bernardino County, Riverside County, LA County, Ventura County, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We'd love to help you make a smooth move to the area. If you're looking to sell, reach out to us too. We're with Coldwell Bankers, so we've got the resources to help you do anything you want to do, anything you need to do. So appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell for notification, and give us feedback. Let us know what you think. And also like our videos. It really helps the algorithm. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the evening.